the professor here. I'm going to be your caddy today around Goat Hill. Number 1, Luds. This is a generous opening, a gentle tee shot, which bears to the right. You can play it a couple of ways. You can either smash it 290 yards with your driver, which brings a lot of trouble into play, or you can hit a 5-iron or maybe a utility wood. You must watch for your second shot especially if you're 100 yards out. It's very easy to go over the back of the green. I suggest you play this one always a little bit short. Number 2, Juniors. Now this, in the golf match that we had with the pros, proved to be one of the toughest holes on our course. I always try to play this a little bit long. It's not a difficult chip from over the back of the green, but believe me, if you play it short, you've got a very, very difficult up and down. So bury your ego and go maybe with your 3-wood, whereas you probably would go with a 5 or a 4-iron. Play it long. Number 3. Now the tee shot here, you can either be the gorilla and launch it like Charlie Hoffman did at the green, and I think he ended up with a 5. Or you can play it to the right side, probably with your forward or whatever metal you use for that distance. And then you've got a relatively easy pitch shot into the green. It plays a little longer than it looks, so I would go with an easy 9 rather than playing with your wedge. Number 4, the point. Now here's a doozy. This is a tough hole. And the gorilla, I've seen even our Lauren get to pin high, but down the bank in a very difficult pitch shot. So always put it on the driving surface, maybe 220 yards out. You can hit that easily with a forward. Now the difficulty is with the second shot, because the green goes away from you. I always try to get it long to the right. So this means being over the green. Again, it gives you a very difficult shot back to the flag, but at least you're going to hold off on the 6 or the 7. Then we come to Palomar, and this is probably one of the most difficult holes on the golf course. A really good golfer can launch it out to the right and bring it back in, which would be the perfect shot, but that needs a lot of skill. I always think that it's probably better to be a little bit short of this green, because there's an area maybe 10 yards short which is flat. I wouldn't attack this flag at all. I'd go maybe with your 8-iron or 7-iron and play it a little bit short, because the rough there will hold the ball. The idea of going to the left and letting it bounce onto the green is good. Unfortunately, it hits there and then careens off the hill down the bank. A very, very difficult hole, and you've got to put a lot of mind into it. Okay, Ralph's. Here's a good hole. 2-tiered green. Again, plays a lot longer than it looks. So for those of you who are the gorilla, I'd make sure that you get it to the back of the green. The gazelle, play it conservatively to the front and try to 2-putt. Anywhere down the left-hand side is automatically a 4 or 5. 7, the freeway hole. Again, this is one of those quirky holes that if you get it to the left, it's nearly impossible to get up and down. So watch yourself on the tee where you're aiming, because you don't want to go too close to the eucalyptus trees on the right, but that's the best line if you can navigate through the branches. So I would try always to keep it up to the right. There's a little bit of a bowl at the back of the green, so being long again is the key to playing this well. 8, the alley. Well, when we had our big match here with Xander Schauffele and Dean Wilson, Charlie Hoffman, this was quite an eventful tee shot for those guys. You can go a little bit to the left. There's quite a lot of ground out there. It looks like you could be out of bounds, but if you take enough club, you can get below that bank, which opens the green up. You do not want to go to the right. The right blocks you out with your second shot. And also, I don't advise you to be the gorilla here, because you can end up in the trees, or you can, goodness knows where you can go. Number 9, Oz. Pretty straightforward here. Again, you want to be long, not short. And being clever and getting the ball close to the flag is not necessarily a good idea. Most of these holes, if you can get to the center of the green, always gives you a putt. So remember that. Try to get to the center of the green. Number 10, Hawk's Realm. Now, Dean Wilson plays this one sometimes with a 7-iron, wanting to stay back so he's got a flat line. That's a very good way of doing it. Then there's others, the gorillas, who go for the green. In doing that, you could well go out of bounds. So you have to make the choice, the gorilla or the gazelle. It takes a lot of mind power. Number 11, the Nemesis. Here's another goat perfection here of having to get the ball in the right position. You get it short, it's always down to the bottom of the hill. Get it long, at least you've got an opportunity of getting it up and down. I seem to have said this so many times. Be long, not short. It appears to be a 4-iron. The 4-iron, sometimes because of the wind, will not make it. Number 12, historically one of the toughest golf holes on the course. On the tee shot, make sure that you get it down the right side. It does look like you can hit it to the left and let it bounce down, but many, many times the ball will stay up there. You've automatically got a double bogey. So get that ball over on the right side, leaves you an uphill shot where you need to take an extra club, because it's quite easy to hit it and be 20 yards short. I have to tell you that Xander Schauffele, he went completely over all the trees and had a little pitching wedge right from the front of the green. Number 13, the Crossroads. Here again, best place to be is on the right to let the ball come down from the bank. If you were a great golfer, you could cut it in from the left side, but there's few of us that can do that. It needs a lot of attention. It's a difficult hole. The Rise, number 14. This is a straightforward hole. You can here be the gorilla. You can go for the green and hit it, and you'll get the reward for doing it. The safe shot is well short, 100 yards short, probably hitting no more than a 4-iron off the tee. (15) The par 5. I always think that people here always take the wrong line. The line to take here, if you're the big hitter, go at the bunker. You can't get into much trouble on the bunker. If you go to the right, you can get amongst the trees and you can end up having to chip out, and it becomes a very difficult hole. Easy second shot, you can lay it up 100 yards short, and then you've got a difficult green with a number of rolls from front to back and needs a lot of attention. 16, the Plank. Again, very, very difficult tee shot. Probably the best way to play this is to tee your ball low. Hit maybe a 4-wood or a 3-wood. Keep the ball low. Try to get it down the middle. Missing either side, you're in a lot of trouble. So you need a straight shot here. You take your club with the straightest shot. The second shot, always difficult because generally it's from a downhill lie, and this makes the ball go out low. Keeping it a lot to the right will help. You don't want to go to the left. 17, the Elks. If you look at number 2, which is parallel to this hole, whatever you hit on number 2, you're basically going to hit on this one because it's the same length. It tends to play a little bit downhill. Again, being long is a good way to go. '18, the Greenbrier. Now this is where you need to concentrate because it's very easy at this late stage to hit a bad tee shot. So I would go with whatever club you can get the ball into the center of the fairway. Maybe just a 4-iron or a 5-iron. Won't leave you much to the front. Straightforward second shot, maybe a 7-iron, get it to the front, you got an uphill putt. You should have had a 53 from this, so I look forward to you coming back soon. The Professor. Bye-bye.